Camelia Elliott with Camelia's Unique Creations, and today I'm going to show you an easy paper piecing technique. If you look behind me, you'll see the couch that I created with this technique and the wall hanging in my hand. Now we're going to go to the cutting table. This is my Paper Piece J template, and what I'm going to do is cut about 1/8 of an inch on the outside edge of this template. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now we're going to go to the sewing machine. Go. Okay, now I'm going to take my pins out of my Pattern Piece J template, and the fabric is going to go on the back side of the guide, and I like to hold it up to the light of the sewing machine so I can see exactly where to pin it. So I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to pin on the line, and I'm going to come out at the point of the line. Now I'm going to get my cream fabric, put it right sides together, and we're going to stitch it. Okay, now I'm going to lay the cream fabric on top of the yellow fabric, and I'm just going to turn this back to be sure it covers all of the edges, and it does. And I'm going to flip this over. The fabrics are right sides together. I'm going to flip this over, remove the first pin, and I'm actually going to start at the dotted line. I'm going to back stitch, take the second pin out, be sure that my fabric hasn't slipped, and continue to stitch. I'm going to stitch past the solid line to the dotted line, and I'm going to back stitch and then pull it out and cut it. And then the next step will be to add another piece of cream fabric after we press. Okay. Now I'm going to turn my fabric back, and I see that I have extra, so I'm going to cut off the extra fabric. You don't have to be real particular. And then I'm going to press. Now we will go back to the sewing machine and stitch the other stitch. Go. I'm going to lay my fabric right sides together. I'm going to turn it back to be sure that it covers the paper. Then I'm going to flip it over, pin on the line to the points, now I'm going to pull the pin out and stitch. Starting on the dotted line, back stitching, stitching all the way down the solid line, all the way to the dotted line, back stitch, and cut. We're going to go press again. Turn your fabric back and press. Flip it over and cut. Now we're going to go to the cutting table and square it up. I'm going to lay my ruler on the dotted line and cut with my rotary cutter. Flip it around, lay my ruler down on the line, and cut. This is what I love about paper piecing. You have a perfect 1/4 inch seam, and everything just turns out perfect without a lot of work, just sewing on a line. Cool. When you have several finished, you can arrange them, and they make a beautiful little star, as you will see. And they are so perfect. I love paper piecing. A lot of people are intimidated by it, but it actually makes a perfect block easily. Or you can rotate them and have an entirely different block that is also beautiful with perfect points. This is the block in the pillow on the couch, and you see the paper piecing is a really nice addition. I'm also making this pattern into bed-size quilts, all bed sizes, and I call it Camelia's Kaleidoscope Flower Garden. If you look in the center of the blue, you'll see the kaleidoscope effect. And then if you look in the corner, you see the kaleidoscope effect, which creates a star. I hope this lesson has been helpful to you and that you will try some paper piecing. Please check out my website, CameliaElliott.com.